Okay, everyone, we're starting our first major project on this channel, an introduction to the Hebrew Bible, Tanakh, or Protestant Christian Old Testament. This is the holy book of Judaism. So what is the main story of the Tanakh? The major storyline of the Tanakh is how God has guided the Israelites with prophets, laws, wisdom, and mostly by creating a covenant with them, making them God's chosen people who will be saved if they follow God's laws. However, due to sin, the Israelites often turn away and come back to God throughout these stories, teaching great lessons about why we should follow God's laws. Some important story elements and interesting story elements in the Hebrew Bible include creation story, kingdom of Israel, assassinations, revelations, angels, poetry, beasts, magic, and giants, and many, many more, as you can see. So the three main parts of the Tanakh are the Torah, which is the law, the prophets, which is Nevi'im in Hebrew, and writings, which is Ketuvim in Hebrew. Altogether, there are 24 books in the Tanakh because the Tanakh does not split up books into two different books like the Chronicles 1 and 2, Samuel 1 and 2, and sometimes they compile books together, unlike the Protestant Christian Old Testament. So right here, I split up all the books in the three major parts of the Torah, and as you can see, like I said in the last slide, the books of Samuel, it's just Samuel. The book of Samuel, the book of Kings is just Kings, not 1 and 2 Kings. And the story of Ezra, the book of Ezra and Nehemiah, they're put together in one book, Ezra and Nehemiah. Alright, so how will I read the Tanakh? I'll read 2 to 4 chapters each video, depending on the length and storyline events happening in the chapter, so there's a nice flow. I'll read the Tanakh in its original order, in the order it was in the last slide, the Torah, the Nevi'im, and the Ketuvim. I will provide the name of the books in English and Hebrew. All the names of the books in the last slide, next to the English is the Hebrew. I will state which books I am covering in the Tanakh and the equivalent in the Protestant Christian Old Testament. And after finishing a book, I'll go over the key themes, lessons, stories, laws, and any other important information in those stories. So the translation I'm using for this series, this lecture series, is the World English Bible, the Web Bible. So why am I using it? It's a public domain book, so you can go online and follow along and read it for free. It's written in modern English, so it's easy to understand. And most important for me, it's a literal translation. It was translated from it's a revision of the American Standard Version, which came from the family line of the King James Version Bible. And that's a literal translation as well. And that stems to modern day translations like the New American Standard Bible, the ESV, all those literal translations. And also, this translation is a modern translation. It was finished in 2000, and they've had several updates since then. So it's really clear, good flow, and I liked what I've read from it. It contains the Apocrypha included in the Catholic Bible. So after I finish reading the Tanakh, I'll read the Apocrypha, which is part of the Old Testament, so we can follow along in the Catholic Bible too, in the second project after this. And I also chose this because I believe it's a reliable translation. It's on BibleGateway.com, ebible.org, BibleStudyTools.com, and even Bible.com, which also has an app, and there's a lot of people that use it. So just going down the line here, left being the least literal translation, and all the way to the right being the most literal translation. So all the way to the left, we have the King James Version. It was created in 1611. So it's a very old translation. It uses very old English. It's also in the public domain, but it's hard to follow. The web Bible, the World English Bible, the one we're using, is the third most literal English translation, and it is in the public domain. Next most literal is the AMP Bible, Amplified Bible. It was created and finished in 1965. It's the second most literal English translation, and the most literal English translation most scholars believe is the New American Standard Bible. It was finished in 1960, and I personally like it too, but it's copyrighted, so I can't use that for this series. So the layout of videos for this lecture series is I'm going to break down the storyline happening in the chapters. I'll provide side information like measurements in the Bible, characters. I'll give biographies. I'll show maps of where things are happening, and different diagrams like family trees and stuff like that. And after that, I'll study and analyze key verses like laws, commands, tragedies that happened, just to get into exactly like the details of events and laws that God has given the Israelites so we can follow it and understand it. And after that, I'll provide any further study material that I might find, like archaeology, similar pots and pans, or something that the Israelites use, different artifacts, like what the Ark of the Covenant may have looked like, and things like that. And after that, I will read the chapters covered in the video out loud at the very end, so we can read it all, the whole Bible through and through, and it'll be nice to listen to, hear the story without stopping. Alright, thank you all for watching. New video coming next week. We're going to be reading the Genesis. We're starting the Bible, and we'll cover, I think, Genesis 1 through 3. So make sure to check out that video, and thank you for watching.